Welcome to episode 1304 of the Multifamily Collective. Today or tonight or this afternoon, I think it is the afternoon. It might not be the afternoon where you are, but it is the afternoon where I am here in Atlanta. I wanted to take this opportunity to promote a podcast that I've been listening to for, gee whiz, the better part of 4 or 5 years, plus or minus. And yes, I did say gee whiz. I've been listening to this podcast for the last 4 to 5 years. Maybe it's been 6 or 7 years. But the podcast is called the Change Agents Podcast, and it is created and distributed by I'm going to call him a friend, even though I don't spend a lot of time with him. I have spent time with him in person. I've also spent time with him over Zoom calls and definitely through email exchanges and social media exchanges. But his name is Dr. James Rouse. He lives in Colorado, and he publishes the Change Agents podcast every day, every weekday. He also puts it out on Instagram and Facebook. But Dr. James is probably one of the most positive, inspiring, motivational people that I've ever had the privilege of spending time with in person. You stand around Dr. James and you just feel inspired to like run a marathon or do 150,000 push-ups or or just do some kind or a 15-minute plank. You just feel like you can do anything, and it's because of the energy that he exudes from his being. And I think that really is born out of the fact that he just shows up in the world in a way that is just full of personal power, so to speak. It's amazing, and I get really inspired by it. Even when I fuss sometimes that Zoom calls and team calls, video calls, you can't really feel the energy of someone through a video call. It's not the same as being in person and being able to play off of one another's energies. But Dr. James has the ability to come across even in a Zoom call and make you feel inspired to go and do things. So anyway, I'm very grateful for that particular relationship slash friendship of Dr. James. I'm going to try to get him to come on the podcast. He's an incredible guy and very intentional with his time and his rituals and things of that nature, which I very much respect. So I'm hopeful that he would create time and space for the Multifamily Collective or Collective Conversations. I'm not sure. I'm grateful nonetheless, but if we're able to get him on, you'll see what I mean. James is amazing. Dr. James is amazing. So anyway, the thing I wanted to share before I sign off here today is that he has this line that he shares in almost every podcast that you listen to or video version of it that you watch. It's show up as a beneficial presence in the world. And all the things that he does on a daily basis, from morning rituals to nighttime routines and rituals, being intentional about how he spends his time during the day, who he hangs around, what he reads, what he puts out into the world. He always wants to show up as a beneficial presence in the world. And I want to say, Dr. James, you do that. If you happen to watch this, you do that every single day. And the way that you impact people is just profound beyond belief. And I want to share with the community here, the Multifamily Collective and in Collective Conversations, that impact. So I want to spread the word about your podcast. My hope is that anyone watching this would go find the Change Agents podcast, Dr. James Rouse, wherever you get your podcasts. Go sign up and do yourself a favor and make that part of your morning routine, your morning ritual, because he is an inspiration, a true inspiration in the world. He does show up as a beneficial presence in the world every single day. And I think that you will by default be inspired by listening to Dr. James. So take care. We'll talk to you again soon.